My motorcycle trip along Skyline Drive in Western Virginia was the effective end to my 2025 riding season. I started this trip on October 11th from home, traveling to Washington, D.C. to participate in a touring rally called the Tour of Valor. The rally traveled through the Appalachian Mountains and focused on military history, visiting sites from the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. Skyline Drive is a 105-mile national parkway that runs the entire length of Shenandoah National Park in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, generally along the ridge of the mountains. Skyline Drive's northern entrance is at the intersection with U.S. Route 340 near Front Royal, Virginia, and the southern exit is at U.S. Route 250 near Interstate 64. Traveling along Skyline Drive, you can take in breathtaking views from the many scenic overlooks. In 1924, the Southern Appalachian National Park Committee was searching for a site for a national park in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia that would be easily accessible from major cities on the east coast of the United States, such as Washington, D.C., and settled on the current site of Shenandoah National Park. As part of the recommendation for the park was the greatest single feature to be a, quote, Skyline Drive, unquote, that would provide views of the Shenandoah Valley to the west and the Piedmont to the east. In 1929, President Herbert Hoover, who established a summer home in the area, called for the roadway to be built along the Blue Ridge Mountains. The road was proposed to be named Hoover Highway, but would instead become known as Skyline Drive. On July 18, 1931, the official groundbreaking for Skyline Drive took place. The first section of the road was to be built from the Rapidan Camp to the Skyland Resort, but would be extended from Swift Run Gap. Funding for the first stretch of the drive came from the Federal Drought Relief Administration and employed local farmers and apple pickers who suffered from a severe drought in 1930. In the later part of 1932, Congress approved $1 million to construct Skyline Drive. The section of Skyline Drive between Thornton Gap and Swift Run Gap opened in the middle part of 1934 and cost over $1.5 million. The road from Swift Run Gap to Jarman Gap was opened to traffic on August 29, 1939, and the road between Jarman Gap and Rockfish Gap was built as part of the Blue Ridge Parkway and was completed in August 11, 1939 at a cost of $360,000. This section of the Blue Ridge Parkway was given to Shenandoah National Park in 1961 and became the southernmost portion of Skyline Drive. Skyline Drive and Shenandoah National Park are located about 75 miles west of Washington, D.C. I left my hotel in Fairfax in the morning and rode to Front Royal, Virginia, and entered the park at the north entrance in Front Royal. I was a little surprised that entrance to the park was free for my trip. Apparently, when the federal government is on furlough, the Park Service does not collect admission fees. As I entered Skyline Drive, I noted driving here is not for someone who's in a hurry. The speed limit in most of the park is 35 miles per hour, and there are numerous pullouts and overlooks throughout. That meant I could look forward to an enjoyable 4-hour ride before reaching my hotel. The road is twisty and curvy with some sharp turns and switchbacks, and I saw plenty of bicyclists along the road and cars slowing for the overlook turnouts. Because of the scenic views and the 75 beautiful overlooks, I wasn't in a great hurry and rode to enjoy the view. Skyline Drive is impressive with verdant forest and wildlife species such as white-tailed deer, black bear, and red fox. Since it was mid-October, the leaves had already begun to turn, providing a spectacle of color along the entire road. The air was cool and crisp with spectacular views of the Shenandoah River, Massanutten Mountain, and the Allegheny Mountains. As I completed my ride through Skyline Drive, I can reflect on the entire Tour of Valor rally. I started off on Saturday, October 11th, riding to Pennsylvania and the Gettysburg Battlefield, then across the Catoctin Mountains in Maryland, before arriving at the rally check-in point in Hughesville, Maryland. For the next 6 days, I rode across Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware, stopping at numerous military parks and points of interest. Unfortunately, because of the government shutdown, most of my planned museum stops were closed. But the scenic views were not closed, and I was able to take in sights I normally would have skipped because of those museums. Then Skyline Drive started my trip home through the western part of Virginia, through southern West Virginia, and finally eastern Ohio. By the time I arrived home, I had ridden over 2,300 miles in the week I was gone. And throughout those 2,300 miles, I gained a larger appreciation of not only the service our military performs, but also the environmental diversity of our spectacular country.